Good afternoon again and welcome back to our channel. We'd just like to apologize for the bad quality of sound and the noise we had with our kitchen rattling in the back with the previous video. We had no idea it would be so loud. So now we're on a bad salt road again. Here at the coast they do some of the roads as salt roads. Some of them are so compact they seem like normal asphalt roads, but they're not. It is just salt that they compact with machinery. But anyhow, this one is quite bad. It needs redoing again. We are going to pass the Swakopmund salt works here, which we will come back to you sometime. We will go and do a tour through that as well. And soon we will come to the T-junction where we turn left towards Henties Bay. But we're going to visit the mile 14, which is known as Windpomp 14 these days, which is, what is it, windmill number 14, if you try and translate it to English. But anyhow,
let's rather stick to Windpomp 14.
Let's stick to Windpomp 14, yeah. It's just that you can understand what we mean, what it translates to, at least. And we're going to show you something really special again today. So Renata will tell you a bit later about the special thing we're going to show you.
As you can see, today is an extremely foggy day. It's been like this since this morning. So it is really wonderful weather. 14 degrees. And what else can we say? It is really wonderful.
There's a turn off to mile 8 coming up. Where we're going to is mile 14, but this is mile 8. It's just a turn off. There's nothing added. It's just a turn off to the seafront or the seashore, at least, where you can go and park up, and there's a dustbin for your rubbish. That's about what it is. So that's coming up now. There is something else coming up. It is mile 11. So another fishing point where you can go and try and fish. And there's something else coming up, but as you can see, there's a dark patch over there. There are quite a few at the side of the road here on your way to Henties Bay, and even after that. They are salt pans, and you do not dare try and drive through it. You'll get stuck, that you will need a bulldozer to come and rescue you.
We once came across a few gentlemen who'd been fishing from South Africa, and they tried to drive through it and their car just got stuck in the mud, and they were trying to dig it out, but in the end they had to ask someone from Henties Bay. It was past Henties Bay on your way to Cape Cross, and they had to ask someone with a bulldozer to come and pull them out and rescue them. That was the only way. So it was quite an expensive fishing trip for those poor gentlemen.
Alright, I'd just like to clarify, we are not Chinese, we are Caucasian. It's just the sun is just so bright you can hardly see a thing. But anyhow,
Let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
We are directly opposite Windpomp 14's turn off now.
I'm going to turn around the camera so you can see first.
Now over here I want to show you the desert rose. It is a structure that you find in the desert, and it's an intricate rose-like formation of crystal clusters of gypsum and barite, which include abundant sand grains. The petals are crystals flattened on the C-axis, fanning open in radiating clusters. That is what it says. Now, we know it in Afrikaans as a woestynrosie of a sandrosie. But there's different formations, as you can see, as Vic is showing you. They are beautiful. They are truly magnificent. And just across the road from Windpomp 14, as you can see, all the lichens as well that grows here. But look at those sand roses there, Bokkie. Aren't they beautiful?
That. Fantastic. And then we have decided to stick to lichen, the word lichen for these things. There's so many different pronunciations, but we think we will stick to that. And there's green and between this orange one, and we're going to take water and wet it a bit for you to
Look at that
see.
little desert rose.
Desert rose.
Oh, isn't it beautiful? This one is white, but you get different colors. There's one that is a bit darker in color, but can you see the formation? Isn't it just amazing?
And then there's other lichen as well, a different type, but we're going to take water now and wet that for you so you can see what happens. Look at that one, for instance. That's a different type again. So Renate is bringing water, and we will wet some orange ones and as well as the green ones, and show you what happens in a few minutes time. It's sort of almost instantly, you can see it turns a green hue, and this one definitely more an orange hue to it. And it goes on for miles and miles in the distance.
Right, so here we have now entered Windpomp 14, the turn off. As you can see, there's a spectacular sign that tells you what it is and where you are going. Now, Windpomp 14, the camping site, reopened after it was closed for 9 years in December of 2015. Now, there are different facilities, but it is the only full self-catering campsite located right on the beach next to the Atlantic Ocean. It is truly beautiful. They have got 21 self-catering campsites, each with its own toilet, shower and kitchenette, 220 volt electricity and a built-in barbecue, or guests can dine at the Windpomp 14 restaurant too. At the restaurant, there's also lots of things available. Normally during weekends, they have bands or people performing there, making music. So here you can see what it looks like at the restaurant. It is truly a beautiful setup.
We will come back to the restaurant just now. We're going to do a drive-through at the campsites, and they even have the local dogs as well. The 2 local guard dogs.
And look how beautiful it looks. It looks like a little small town setup, but it's all just the camping site.
Each their own ablution facilities and little kitchen, as Renata said.
There's also a place where you can clean your fish, a fish cleaning station. There's even a washing line. So this is your own little setup that you have, and there's 21 of these. And behind that stone wall that you see, that's the ocean. So it is a beachfront camping site that you have. 25 kilometers outside Swakopmund on your way to Henties Bay. They have really gone through a lot of trouble to make it beautiful. Here you can see
The guard dog,
the Windpomp 14 guard dogs.
the local.
They are always here, always welcoming, uh, not aggressive. They are just there to say
Just greeting.
greetings to everyone who has arrived. Now this is a much better view of the restaurant that is here. Currently, it being a weekday, there's not a lot of people, as you can see. But this is basically the facilities. There's also there where the guard dog is standing are also ablution blocks, additional ablution blocks. They've got a lovely menu. Normally on a Sunday we come here and we have their foot-long cheese Russian and chips, which is iconic, but it is really good.
There's the stage, and there's a stage where different people come and perform, do their gigs for them.
And there's also a playground for little children, for families. If the kids come along, they can just play there on the playground. And what you are seeing now are residences of the people who work here at the campsite and in the restaurant.
That is the Windpomp, the windmill.
That is the biggest one at the coast that you will, and the only one I think,
Probably the only one,
Yeah.
yes, probably the only one.
that you will find. And that was a quick tour of Windpomp 14. We hope you enjoyed it. We're going to show you something else today still, but that's in Swakopmund. So this was just a quick getaway from the busy morning schedule, and we hope you enjoyed the 25-kilometer outing with us. Right, so we've arrived here at the museum. I am gobsmacked. It's the first time that I'm here, and I quickly did some research about the Martin Luther steam engine. So, in 1894, German artist Troost tried to replace the tedious ox wagon traffic on the Bay Road from Swakopmund into the interior by implementation of a steam traction engine, but it did not succeed to operate under the harsh conditions of the Namib Desert, and the attempt was duly abandoned. The engine was imported from Germany and arrived complete with a mechanic who was also to serve as the driver. Due to a lack of landing facilities at Swakopmund at this time, both were landed at Walfish Bay. The mechanic took one look at the desert and went home. Shame, poor guy. The engine rested sometime in Walfish Bay until Troost succeeded in finding a mining prospector who was willing to try his luck at getting the machine to Swakopmund. Now, 3 months later, he delivered the engine to Troost at Swakopmund. It had practically been pushed the entire distance because it had the tendency to dig itself into the deep sand every time an effort was made to move it under its own power. I can just imagine how they must have struggled, the Boekie.
Poor people.
No wonder it ended up in the museum.
But
Um,
anyhow, it stood here for donkeys years.
Yes,
and
just
it hasn't-
outside in the weather every
It
day.
just rusted away on its own axles, and then Mr. Eckhard Müller from NIMT took on the task to restore it.
Yes, they say here also, later the people of Namibia called this monument the Martin Luther. Hier stehe ich kann nicht anders. That means here I stand and I cannot do otherwise. And this was the first white elephant in Namibia's history of roads. The engine has been restored twice, first in 1973 and more recently between 2000 and 2004. After the second restoration job, a protective house was built for the engine, as it was by then apparent that the frequent mists of Swakopmund would quickly damage the engine again. But it is a beautiful piece of engineering, isn't it?
I haven't seen it myself since it's been restored.
Yeah.
I knew it from when it was sort of rusted away. Everyone just had to come and stop here. But now that it's in a building, I think very few people do stop here. They just go. I think people don't even know what's in this building, but it's next to the road.
But yes, a wonderful piece of Swakopmund history.
Yes, and this is the building from outside. They call it the museum, so that you just know what it looks like. And there's the main road leading to Swakop on that side, coming in from Windhoek, the capital. Alright, the jetty, we're on our way to the jetty in Swakopmund through the last bit of the main road. And the jetty is by all means the most iconic object in Swakopmund.
Yeah, it's steeped in history, really. During the colonial period in Swakopmund, it was a very important harbour, even though the conditions were not suitable at all. That's now Swakopmund. Lüderitz was too far south, and Walvis Bay was occupied by the British, so the Germans had to make a different plan. And they then decided, after an outbreak of the Herero Rebellion in January 1904, it quickly became apparent that there was not enough anchoring space for the numerous ships supplying the civilian commodities and military logistics to the new German colony. So they asked a company in 1904, October 1904, the Zweiten Eisenbahnbaukompanie, the second railway construction company, an engineering unit arrived from Germany to start with the building of the wharf. Initially, a 275-meter long, 9-meter wide wooden jetty was built in 1904. It was later extended by 50 meters and widened by 5 meters. That is where it comes from, jetty1905.com. There's lots of information about the jetty on Discover Namibia. All those wood was replaced by an iron one in 1912 by another company, and then this was to be 640 meters long and equipped with two 5-ton and two 3-ton cranes, as well as a railway line. But there's, as I say, there's lots of information. After the war, there was no further maritime need, and in 1919, the northern end was covered by planks for pedestrians and anglers. In 1986, renovation work started to save it. Also in 2003 or 2003, it required further work and was closed for the public. And in the end, I'm not going to read you everything from that. I'm quite sure you can have a look on the webpage of Discover Namibia and find everything there. But in August of 2010, the Lighthouse Group opened a restaurant at the end of the jetty called Jetty 1905.
I'll go and walk there and show you a bit later.
It is really a wonderful restaurant. You can try it out. The food is outstanding, and there's also a donut bar that has opened in the meantime at the entrance of the jetty. But Vic will show you that as soon as he gets out and walks onto the jetty.
Thank you for exploring with us. Please like and subscribe, and we'll be back in a day or two with more videos.